Meanwhile, Abdurahman Sayed from the Manaar Mosque near the Grenfell Tower is waiting anxiously for authorities to disclose the identities of the dead. He says many of his worshippers lived in the building and are still missing. He says the community is struggling to come to terms with what happened.
We had colleagues and people who worshipped at the mosque who lived there. So it was really still unbelievable. We're trying to come to terms with that because just the night before we were all together praying, celebrating the fasting month, and all of a sudden now they were not there with us anymore, or we don't know what happened exactly.
So you still don't know whether they've survived that fire?
Not yet. We're just waiting for the authorities really to disclose all the information and the identities of any fatalities and casualties.
Can you tell me what your mosque has been doing since the fire happened?
From the first moment we heard about it, the first thing we decided to do was to keep the mosque on fire, to just walk in, to sleep, to rest, to relax, to wash. We've also asked for some donations, and we were inundated with donations from the public, which was really, to this minute, as I left the place now, still people were coming with their blankets, bedding, anything you can imagine that a person would need. It's been delivered to the mosque.
What were they saying? You know, what state were they in?
Well, people were in shock, and some were also very sad and crying. Others were just like uncertain what to feel or say, simply because it just happened, unexpected. They didn't know anything about their loved ones, and people were just worried because no one was telling them any detailed information about the whereabouts of their loved ones, whether they survived or not. So there was a degree of shock and sadness on the face of people.
And what have people been saying in the community today?
Well, the community was really overwhelmingly supporting any way they can. It's been like the phone has been ringing in the center almost every second. If I say it's not an exaggeration, it's every second that we've been receiving phones. Also people coming physically, taking time off from work to help in organizing and assisting in any way they can, physically as well as materially. So the response from the community was really overwhelming, and it still continued to this minute.
And is there any, are people asking questions of how this could happen? Is there any anger out there yet?
Well, I think it's too early. People are still trying to absorb the shock. And B, I think the emergency services have also been really doing a wonderful job. The police, the fire brigades, the ambulance, they were all there really trying their best. In fact, just an hour ago, I had a meeting, a Christian faith leader who came to our office and agreed with us to kind of have a coordination of counseling service in the next couple of weeks, the next 2 weeks. And that should include catering for the people from the ambulance and the emergency services who have witnessed this, calamity. Obviously, there will be some kind of inquiries a bit later on when things settle down as to what caused all this, damage to property as well as to people's lives.
And that was Abdurahman Sayed from a mosque near the Grenfell Tower.